Okay, I'm calling the Marketing Committee meeting to order. It's 5 o'clock on January 6th. We are meeting both here live at the Life Saving Station, and we have one member and our advisor, Commissioner Bauer, with us remotely. Let's do a quick roll call and start. Lily
Gosner, Luisa Martinez,
Patrice Gansey,
Ellen Winkler.
and online and virtually,
Sally Silver.
Paul Bauer.
Paul Bauer.
And we have Town Manager Bill Zolper with us as well. Thank you all. Let us start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Let's put some water. Whoops. You want to run in? Oh, he's getting some, okay. Thanks.
He won't ever eat. Sorry.
Thank you.
Hi there.
Hi. Sorry about that.
No, it's not the first time. Believe me. That's hard.
I haven't even had a drink yet. That's my problem.
Okay, so the first orders of business and are to adopt our agenda. And I will take a motion.
I will move to adopt the agenda.
Second? Second. Lisa? Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And I will make a note that Rick Schwitzer has joined us as well, remotely. Thank you, Rick. Nice to see you. The second order of business is approval of our minutes, which were sent out in advance and were posted. Motion to approve the minutes.
I so move.
Ellen, second. Louisa. Any discussion about the minutes?
No.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, any public comment on non-agenda items? Do we have anyone from the public? No. So I guess committee members can make comments later, so if there are no public attendees, we will just go ahead to our agenda item. The first of which is the discussion and possible action on the town hall fundraising. And I am dying to get some report on whether our efforts to promote gifts for the bricks bore any fruit over the holidays. Kate?
So we are up to 160 bricks sold.
Okay. Can you tell us anything about gifts versus groups versus businesses, where we're getting any traction?
I could not tell you for sure. I will say that, I mean, I guess almost a third of those came through over the holiday season.
Okay.
They don't tell you where they heard about it or.
No.
Interesting. It'd be fun to track that.
Okay. So we really need to make a huge push on these bricks. And we did, Lily, thank you, and Kate worked on a brochure that I shared with you when I sent the agenda out. I think it's a great brochure. And as I understand, Kate, there will be 3 formats. One is an actual brochure, one is kind of a poster, one-sided thing, and the other's digital, yes?
Correct.
Okay, anybody want to make any comments about the brochure other than thank you?
I liked it. I thought it looked great.
I did too.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of significant change. We just brainstormed different kind of, teasers to get people thinking about how they could buy a brick or what to put on their brick, just hoping to inspire them.
But it looked nice and clean.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Yeah. So now the discussion is getting those out to town. And my first question, I know we had talked before about contacting businesses and taking assignments to get to different businesses. The first question is whether there is any possibility of sending an email with the digital copy out first and introducing the idea, and then we can follow up by going to individual businesses. Is there such a list?
of businesses in town. We do have business licenses, town business licenses, so Kate, I'm sure those all have email addresses associated with them?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it would be better to do that first instead of just walking into a business and hoping that, somebody beside the teenager who's staffing the desk is there instead of the owner or the manager. So if we could get that, that would be great, Kate. And we also discussed getting a list of homeowner associations to the extent we have any email addresses for them. Is that still a possibility?
That's possible. I wouldn't be the keeper of that list, but I know who would be, so I can certainly find out.
Okay,
How many bricks are you hoping to sell?
over 2,000. We got a long way to go. Do other people agree that the tourist season is going to be a big time to do to really push these?
Oh, I definitely think so. Yeah. More people in town. How do we find out who has already donated or bought bricks?
We talked about getting a
Businesses in the
list,
town.
right, just so we're not double dipping.
Yeah.
So we do have a list of folks that have already made donations from both businesses and personal donations. That's completely separate than the bricks.
Oh, so it's plus,
So you have people that have donated certain amount of money, whether it's 5,000, 10,000, 25,000, whatever it is. Those donations are going to go on a wall inside the new town
Right.
hall in the admin lobby with the design that currently the mayor and Kate are working on. And then there's the bricks. The bricks are completely separate.
so we don't want to try to sell a brick to someone who's already bought a large one for the wall.
I mean, you could. I don't think it's going to hurt to ask. And they may just say, no, I've already given
Given enough.
$1,000
Okay.
or $10,000 or $5,000, whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't think it hurts to contact people more than once. So we had originally talked about distributing these brochures themselves to the businesses who are willing to take them. I started worrying after the meeting that someone then would have to monitor whether the brochures are still there in the businesses.
And restock
And
them.
replace and restock. So I'm wondering if instead we could use the little poster that Kate developed. I've looked on Amazon, and if the businesses don't have a bulletin board or a place to put them, stands, clear plastic stands aren't too expensive. If we bought them in bulk, to offer them to the businesses, to have them on a counter or something. What do people think about distributing them instead of the brochures themselves?
A lot of the restaurants have table tents or table cards, some sort of stand. Maybe we can ask them if they can let us use one side of it and do almost a mini version of the brochure on one side, and then they can promote their drink specials, desserts, whatever on the other side.
That would be great.
Or the other idea I had was, it sounds terrible, but inside of bathroom stalls, they all have the advertising on the doors. I mean,
That's right.
if they're willing to do that, or even inside the bathroom doors, people are standing there waiting in line or whatever.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's a very good idea.
And what about hotels? Can we ask the hotels to have them available for people when they check in? And
Yeah, so there are some flyers that Kate made that are already up in some of the businesses in Grottoes, but now Grottoes is closed for the winter. But in the Starboard Raw, in Dewey Beer Company, and some of them around town. The Hyatt also has one in their lobby, just a small flyer, but I like the idea of the plastic, whether it's small on the table or whether it's at the desk where you check in.
Okay, so the first step will be to get the email list to send out an inquiry and saying, we're placing these, and somebody from our committee will follow up with you about this. We'd like to introduce the idea, please get back to us, even whether they do or don't, we will follow up with you. And I think what we need to do is get an idea of how much capacity we each have to actually follow up. I looked at let me see, I wrote some notes here. We have hotels, we've got the bars and restaurants. We've got the small shops where Woody's Carryout is. We've got the strip where Woody's is, and those stores. We have the Izzy's shops and those in the strip with Nick's. What else do we have?
Well, what about out on Coastal Highway, like, the bike shops, the home improvement places, the gas stations, the car washes?
That's a great idea too. Yep, yep. How much do each of us think we can do if we kind of divide up the list? And I'm willing to divide it up for you unless you have a preference of the businesses you would like to contact. I know, Rick, you said you're an expert and have contacts with the bartenders.
Look at the smile.
I think that was a little bit of a stretch, but okay, I'll stand by that.
You said it, I'm taking you at your word. Can we each take 10 businesses? Tell me what your limits are, because unless you volunteer to take something, I would like to try to assign people to go places, and I don't want to overload anybody.
I think 10's reasonable.
10 each to start?
Sure.
It'd be nice to have the list so we know how many there are, we talking
Right.
50 or 100, so that.
Okay, when I get the list, I will keep you updated about what's on there, and we'll talk about how to divide it up. If you have any preferences for a category, like a hotel or a restaurant or a bar, let me know, and we'll start with 10 each, and then we'll just keep moving out of the circle as we have more to suggest. Does that sound good?
Yep.
And we will be focused on the one-sided poster type thing, and offer that we can do a stand if they need one, or give that as an idea. Okay, great. Anything, I do want to mention that Alex Hanna, who used to be chair, I think, of this committee, mentioned the possibility of doing a digital push, a targeted digital and social push, a campaign for visitors, not so much for residents, but visitors. I understand what he's saying. I think it's a great idea. I don't feel that I have the knowledge about how that should be done, and maybe Kate or Rick or somebody who's more social media friendly can tell us how we might follow up on that.
I can't imagine that visitors would want to buy a $300 brick, but if it's a digital push, it's certainly worth trying.
I think his explanation was that there are people who come here every single year and still don't live here and do feel some connection to town, and they might. I don't,
Trace the memory for the
Right.
children growing up, for your Christmas card, and then there you are with your brick.
All right. I'm willing to try anything, so.
So what is it? Can someone tell me what do we do with that? How do we follow up on that suggestion?
It all goes back to getting the visitor's email address.
Well, I don't know that we're gonna have that. That's the difficult issue. So is it again Instagram or Facebook? I know we had something on Facebook today. That was really a nice poster.
Well, I think there's a lot of business, well, it's not so much Grotto, but I know Starboard posts things on social media all the time. Dewey Business Partnership is always posting. Maybe ask them if they will do a push for us. Just like the Sussex County Association of Realtors, she did one push for me. She said she would do a couple more as we move into the spring and warmer weather. So,
Okay.
because they have a ton of followers. I'm sure Woody's does, I'm sure they all, have a ton.
So that could be one thing we do when we contact the businesses, is to ask them to help make a push for us. So not just to post a brochure, but also do something with their own outreach. That would be great. Okay.
There's that other guy, Dewey. Who is that?
Justin Rudd.
Okay, maybe he would do something.
Right.
And there's a 302 something, there's a lot of,
Yeah, and Paul, you have What's Doing in Dewey, right?
Yep. And I put stuff on there about the bricks too. I don't know, it's tough to measure how much reaction you get to it. I can tell you how many views that the post got, but I don't know what turned into action on any of them.
Okay. And then we also talked about pushing Valentine's Day. And Kate, I'm assuming every newsletter is going to have an article about this, so that we don't have to talk about that too much. I don't know, guys. I'm feeling.
we mentioned getting the construction company to put it on the scrim. in front of the construction site.
Right,
Is
so
that
Kate's done a really good job. She made up a big like canvas that we're gonna put up at the construction site.
something- Oh, great.
And she's also organized where it's gonna be put in the chamber booklet that comes out in the spring, Kate?
Yes,
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay.
and a display for the gala.
Yeah.
Oh, there is going to be a display at the gala. Great. That does not need to be staffed, I think you said, right? There's, nobody's going to pay attention to it. Okay.
Right by the chocolate fountain.
Okay.
How about with some of the events that are happening, like the gala is one, but doing pink or some of the other things that are coming up, but there's that exhibit for artists, maybe if something could be put up then.
I think those are great ideas. I know there's going to be a May art event.
Yeah.
We did talk about the gala and came to the conclusion that it's just not a time to try to stand there and talk to people about buying bricks. Dewey and Bloom is talking about a holiday parade for kids on 4th of July weekend. I know there's the run on the weekend, but I don't know what the setup is there, whether does the town ever have a tent there or?
For
It's the July 4th 5K, is that what happens on?
like the Ten Sisters run.
Yes,
that they
yes,
do on
yes,
July
yes.
4th.
Yeah.
We don't, but there are races starting in May, almost every single weekend in Dewey. I mean,
Oh.
there's a 5K almost every Saturday, and then sometimes we have to have them on Saturdays and Sundays, so we have so many.
Oh.
We have a hard time getting our police officers actually to have to work those, right? Because we require at least 3 officers in every race. So there are races out there. It'd be a matter of, setting something up where they start and finish. And usually that's at the end of Dagworthy Street, down, by North Beach, or sometimes it's over on the Rudder or over on Van Dyke on the Bayside.
And
How
we-
about the plunge? Is there a polar plunge in Dewey?
So that they had that on New Year's Day. They already had that. And then the one in Rehoboth is the last weekend of this month.
how likely is it that we would get any traction from trying to ask if we could set up a table or a tent? I don't know, that I don't participate in runs myself, so I have no idea how they're set up. Is there, anybody have an idea about whether we'd get any attention, or is it?
I really don't think you will.
I
They
don't
don't
think
carry
so.
wallets.
Yeah.
Right.
The only thing, and I don't know that they even have pockets to take a brochure and you're handing them out.
Right.
It's really, the only thing I can think of is
You could do
maybe
the
the
parking
race
lots.
organizer, if they'll share the emails and we can send them an email blast. I hope you had a great time in Dewey. Consider, I don't know if they will. And I don't know who, is it races to run or is there a couple
There's
different?
2 different groups that really have them in Dewey. Sometimes there's a 3rd group, but there's mainly 2.
Mhm.
If I could just add something real quick, if you're worried about, just an idea, what, you could always do like a QR code if you're
Yeah.
worried about people not having the physical, not having a place to put something in their pockets, but anyway.
Yeah,
Do the
we
runners
have
carry
one.
their cell phones?
I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure they do.
Do they?
Yeah. Kate's been putting QR codes on everything, so
Yeah.
wherever we are, I think people should be able to have access to QR codes.
None of us are runners, right? So.
Yeah.
Does that QR code take you to a site where you can do it you can print out something and do it by hand, as opposed to electronically?
But yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
I do agree that we should think about any events coming up and whether it's appropriate and whether we'll get any attention if we set up there. So if anybody has news about events, Lions Club events, Paul, if there's anything that we could do at any of those events coming up in the spring.
Yeah, we don't have any events coming up. We have a meeting this week, but no events that we really do.
And I believe Alex said you have a newsletter and he's putting things in the newsletter. Is that correct? So
Correct.
they're helping with that, so that's
Yep.
good.
Hey, if we could just talk about what's the cutoff date
That's
to get a brick? Did we set out a final date? I mean, we can always fudge that date a little bit, but
No, we haven't set one up. There's 2 thoughts on that. That it has to be done by the time the building's done. And the final decision on that's going to be up to the mayor. that's kind of overseeing this. I think we ought to wait and we continue to sell the bricks. We get our CO, we do as many bricks as we have at that time, and then we continue to buy bricks, and once we get another 100 or 200, then we put those in and go on down. That's, final decision is going to be the mayor's, but right now, there's not a cutoff date.
This, my thought is, I think people like the idea of it, but, you know, hey, I'm not ready to jump in, oh, I got time to do it. You know, at some point, we want to say, hey, you know, April 15th is the last date to buy bricks. And people know they have a couple months to do it. And then we do a countdown towards it. And I think you get some motivation when you get close to the date to buy them.
Create some motivation.
Right.
We hope to be in the building, have the construction done, hopefully by September 1st. So, I mean, April would be really short of that, and I think we'd miss a lot of the summer folks. So, and again, that's, when Kate and I meet with the mayor, that's something that he discusses also.
Yeah, I would say let's go as late as you guys think is possible, and
You don't wanna cut summer people off.
right. And Bill, are you saying that even once they're laid, we can't pull some up and put new inscriptions down, right? That's not,
No, we would have to talk to the contractor, and so let's say we have 300 bricks sold, and we're ready to move in the building. And do we want to go ahead and put those 300 bricks down? And then the path would end right there, or we would have it continue with some type of crusher run, something that would get us the CO and not be an issue. Or we want to hold them until we get all of them, which it could be some time, right?
I think if someone has paid for the brick within a reasonable amount of time, they're gonna want to go visit it or see it.
and I like the idea of leaving an option open,
Yeah.
because I think once people start seeing bricks down there, they may go, wow, that's really cool, I want to be part of that.
Yeah,
So,
my neighbor did,
I like
I
it.
should do that.
So please advocate to the mayor that we like the option of
Yeah.
expanding as possible. All right, we've got some ideas. Please keep thinking of ideas. We've got a lot of bricks to sell. But let's get started now that we have the brochures, and we'll keep moving forward. Just any discussion, we had talked last time about using social media more, Instagram, sending photos, Kate, are you seeing any increase in any ideas and things you're getting from people?
Not really, but I
But it's the
understand.
holidays. It's the holidays.
We're getting the dead of winter, so.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Okay, so let's just keep that in mind,
It'll pick
though.
up, I
And
know it will.
okay, let's just, as it's getting nicer and we're out more, let's think of photos and other things that we can contribute. I'd just like to have reports on any outreach that has been done. I know that some things have been done. Lily, you talked to the Sussex County Realtors. You want to talk about that?
They were very receptive. They already posted on their social media once, encouraging brick sales, and they said, as I said before, they offered to do it a couple more times. I also spoke to Rehoboth by the Sea with their leadership, and they already posted once right before the holiday, and I'm sure she'll be willing to do it again.
I think I had contact with PenFed Realty. I think they bought a brick. We have talked with Dewey and Bloom, put out a notice to all our volunteers about the bricks. We reached out. I'm working with Diane Hansen at the Civic League. They're going to put something in their mailing that goes out in February to all the members. This is not, and I should say, Ellen and I both worked on the business partnership, talking about not the bricks, but the idea we discussed last time about a holiday stroll on the day of the Christmas tree event. And they're going to talk about it with their board and see whether that's viable. But the idea would be afternoon of the Christmas tree event, we actually encourage businesses to do something with sales or coffee or something, handouts, so that people actually could walk through town and buy things and buy merchandise and then walk over to the tree. And it's something that encourages use of the businesses.
Right.
Thank you for following up with that too. Tara talked to Jungle Jim, and he's very interested. He wants to do some kind of fundraising activity with his clients to see if they can get enough money to buy at least one brick. And he also asked that he would love to have brochures about business license, pet licenses, and pet regs that he can display in his place so that people that come in with their dogs know what's up and what's going on.
Okay, we can take care of that.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Any other outreach that people have made that you want to report on?
My boss, Toback Builder, is going to buy one. I will buy one, and I've reached out to my HOA, and I think they're going to buy one as well.
Great, excellent.
Has anybody reached out to Ashby's, remember Dave Ashby?
Oh, yeah.
Laura Ashby?
Yes, yeah.
You wanted to do that?
I thought about doing that. Is that all right if no one else has done that?
We're having an HOA meeting, our group, and we'll talk to them about it.
Great, that's good, yeah. Yeah, I think HOAs are, I know our street has bought one, and we've had a couple of streets that are interested, so we should do that too. And HOAs definitely should do it. Anything else on outreach so far? Neighbor Network. We had an article in the last newsletter about it. It's going slowly. We had 4 volunteers to be street captains, 3 of whom are members of this committee. I'm taking the position that I don't think that this has to go like wildfire. If we get 10 to 20 streets in a reasonable period of time, and if that means we get 100 to 200 more people who might give us their email addresses or sign up as subscribers for the newsletter, we can just keep building on that. And I think maybe we told the one non-committee member who volunteered that in January, we would start sending out ideas to share with people on their streets. And I'm not sure I've ever been clear that my goals are to get more direct email addresses for people that the town can reach out to. Second, just generally more knowledge about events that are coming up. And we've talked about the fact that a lot of people I've talked to say they don't know in time about events coming up. So they can't plan if they're here part-time, I'm going to be in town that weekend and participate in X, Y, or Z. So if we can continue to look at ways that we can get the news out early about events, and that we share them with the street captains who share them with the streets and the HOAs, that hopefully that, and we will continue to promote them. Even if it's a little bit slow, I want to keep trying it and see if we can get any traction on this. Any questions about that?
There you go.
University of Delaware, Paul.
Well, they're in a little bit of a flux, so they've had some turnover, and the people that run the Alumni Association, they're sorting out what who's going to be in charge and all that kind of good stuff. So I think it's too late to really try to do something with them now until they have the people on board. So unfortunately, I think we got to put that off maybe till next year. I mean, we'll start talking to them this year about it, but I don't know if it gives us enough time to get something for April or May.
What about for fall? I guess fall's not a great time.
That's a great time to come to the beach, but
Yeah, I know to come to the beach, but for them to organize something, I know it's,
right.
well, we
Yeah.
have another.
Yeah, until they get somebody on board, it's really nobody that's going to make a decision on anything there.
Okay. Thank you, Paul. We do need to get started with the Chamber of Commerce, Rick. I'd like to talk about if you've had any luck reaching the new head of the chamber. I think we need to get started soon talking about including our information in welcome packets for renters. And I don't know if you're still there, Rick.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm planning on reaching out. I was going to it today, but I didn't feel well. So I will reach out to her this week and set up a meeting.
Okay, and if you want anybody else, me or anybody else to join a meeting about this, I'd be happy to do that too, so you let me know, okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you. Brainstorming session for town newsletter topics. Obviously, the bricks, neighbor network. Anything else that people can think of that we should start, we should feed to Kate?
I have a quick question about the brick fundraiser. Is there any way, do people have to pay the $300 in full in one payment, or is
Good question.
there? Yeah.
Right, Kate, they do,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Could always do a partner. Smith and Jones, $150 apiece or something.
Anything else? Any
Is there-
ideas?
Is there any way to revamp the brick so we could get a pet stamp on it? I know I keep asking this, but we get so many people. I mean, pet parents are, if it's for the dog, it doesn't matter, $300, no problem.
I have gotten a number of orders of people putting their dog's name on the brick.
The names go on the brick, but then not like a silhouette of the dog.
Or
No
paw
paw
print?
print.
I don't think so, I mean, they don't offer that, do they, Kate?
They do.
Okay,
$50 more, $100 more?
The general consensus seemed to be that a more uniform design was wanted across the entire walkway, so inserting any sort of clip art would not.
Detract from that.
There are several like dog things during the season. that-
Absolutely, yes, those are events we should
And I'm
definitely.
gonna reach out to the Golden Jubilee also.
Right.
And I'm not saying we have to have 10 different kinds or even the breeds of the dogs, just paw print.
we are gonna try to have a dog fountain out there.
Well, wouldn't that be perfect to have those bricks around the dog fountain?
I'm getting the feeling that.
I'm a woman with a mission here.
I'm getting the impression that the decisions that have been made, and there's not a lot of flexibility to change now, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay.
But putting the dog's name is
My dog's names are on my brick.
All right.
All right, Sally wanted to talk a little bit about your committee, the resiliency committee, and any issues and how you're progressing.
Sure, I'd be happy to. At the last town commissioners meeting, which was December 19th, at the request of our committee, two engineering firms made and really intended to be an informational presentation to the commissioners to acquaint them with the idea of possibly doing a comprehensive evaluation resiliency report for Dewey Beach, which we don't have at the present time. Work has been done in the past to assess need, but it's been done more or less piecemeal. And I think the last study might have been done in 2017, which is a pretty long time ago. If you're talking about possible, flood risk. So they did a really excellent job. It was I thought, very low key, very straightforward. They did a good job of describing what would be in the resiliency report. Basically, they would address the town's risk, tolerance for risk, the impacts on the town in the event of events, and identify maybe the hot spots, like where are the areas of greatest need that need to be addressed, which would allow the town to come up with identify immediate goals, short-term goals, medium-term goals, and long-term goals. So, and they stress the point that not everything costs money. Some things can be checked off because they just require a change in code or something to that effect. But they talked about also, risk and tolerance, and obviously the big issue is flooding. So I think Brett Jett from GMB made the point. He said there's really only three things to do. You raise things up, or you push the water away, or you learn to live with it. And learning to live with it's really not clear what that would look like. But at any rate, part of the process of doing this resiliency report would also include reaching out to the public as well as other stakeholders like DelDOT and also Sussex County, and coordinating with them. Obviously, making the best possible use of the previous work that's been done so that we're not reinventing the wheel. And basically, the resiliency report would allow the town to identify what risks they're willing to live with. They recommended that you look out at least 30 years into the future, because that is a mortgage cycle. Anyone buying a house is, probably going to get a 30-year mortgage. And the two engineering firms that made the presentation, interestingly enough, both of them have done work in Dewey, or both of the individuals have done work in Dewey. One of them did so, I think, when he was at another firm, but they have worked together. They're both very familiar with Dewey, and they work together very well, and they seem to, jive very nicely. They also, just a bit of background, we had done an extensive amount of research talking to neighboring municipalities to find out, what are you doing with regard to sea level rise and flooding? And everybody is working on it. And the names of these two companies kept coming up over and over again. So we reached out to them, and I think 4 other firms, and sent them a very short questionnaire to answer to assess whether or not they were interested in taking a look at Dewey Beach. And these two companies responded. We were very pleased with the responses, so we thought they would be good candidates to talk to the commissioners. So basically, as I said, it was really just a first step informational meeting to acquaint the commissioners with, to start thinking about what needs to be done. And obviously, that's a decision they'll have to make. But as time goes on, I'm sure, we'll get down into the weeds a little bit deeper and, provide them with additional information. And obviously, one of the concerns is, where's the money going to come from to do this? And they seem to think that even in these tough times, there is some money available, and they have been working with all the local municipalities to try to get funding to do these resiliency studies. So that's basically it. It was, I thought they did a very nice job, and the commissioners asked questions, which was good. So all in all, a very good presentation.
So the money for funding would come from an outside source or from the town?
Well, I think the town would probably have to come up with some of it, but there are other sources of funding that they have been able to tap into with regard for other municipalities, like I think Bethany was one, Fenwick Island was another. Of course, today it's tougher because we're not getting a whole lot, coming down from Washington. But he did stress that there is money available, and I think that they are keenly aware of the problem with doing these studies and the amount of money it would cost to do one, and where's the money going to come from. So they said they would be very happy to work with us and try to work through that issue using, the resources that they had available to them.
Any questions? Sally, I sent Sally an article today from the Gazette about a forum that's going to be in Lewis in the middle of the month, but with a group, it sounds like a nonprofit group that works with localities to address some of these issues. And I also talked to Diane Hansen. She's going to be at that. And I think you guys should get together and think about whether something like that would be appropriate here in Dewey, and maybe the Civic League would help sponsor it, to look into how do we socialize some of these issues with the public. And I know you've talked about doing that before, so.
Yeah, that's actually, our subcommittee is basically charged with the task of public education. So we're not quite there yet. However, as we move forward, it is important to just acquaint the public with what's going on, and that looks like a very interesting forum, Patrice, and I plan to attend.
Okay, look for Diane and talk to her when you're there.
I will.
And
Thank you.
Thank you. And Bill, I had raised with you, is there anything that we can do to help with this campaign for funding for the flood remediation that's being withheld? I know that you've put a lot out about encouraging people to contact the appropriate authorities. Do you feel that enough's being done, and is there anything else that we need to do to help?
So we've worked with Cape Gazette, WVOC, WRDE. I talked to Senator Coon's office actually around 3:30 today, and they are still engaging with the Army Corps on this. It's completely separate than a BRIC grant or FEMA grant. So if you've seen the media, Crisfield has just lost somewhere between $25 and $30 million. The BRIC grant has been put on hold for them. This is not a BRIC grant that we got. We had to go through Senator Coon's office. We wrote this grant, and it was earmarked for Dewey Beach from the Army Corps of Engineers. So I did get some folks that asked, should we join the lawsuit that 20 of the other states in our state is also part of that lawsuit, and add this funding into that. And at this time, I think the money is still on hold. It hasn't been what they call rebunked yet. So we're waiting to see what Senator Coon's office can do with the Army Corps. So I'm not sure what else we can do at this time. I know from the folks that I'm getting emails and texts from, I think it's gotten out there.
Good.
But I mean, that street needs to have a pump station. There's no, for that, we don't need a study to tell us that. We know that for a fact. The rest of the stuff that the Resiliency Committee is talking about, those would be good things to have to tell us about other parts of the town. But we know Reed Street needs to be addressed and needs to be addressed soon.
On that same vein, I wonder if there's a way we can get some positive energy on, or maybe just have less bad stuff said about Reed Avenue, because I'm afraid it's gonna start affecting the property values. No?
I'm not sure. I mean, I know there's that one home towards the Bayside. They didn't get as much traction as they wanted to have, but Buena Street, which is right there,
Right,
that lot
that's true.
sold, and it was sold privately for significant funds, so. And it's much worse where you are versus where I am.
But Reed Street has some very positive things as a kayak launch, right? And easy access to both the bay and in the ocean, and a restaurant right at the end of the street, right? And there's gonna be some more commercial establishment right there. So, I mean, there's a lot of positive things about Reed Street and the whole town, but that kayak launch is pretty special.
Yeah, forget about that.
Okay. Any committee member comments that haven't been made so far about agenda items? Anything that occurred to you while we were talking that you didn't talk about then that you want to bring up now? Any information about other upcoming events? I'm not aware of any events other than what we've talked about, but please keep us informed through the dead of winter and into spring. I think as long as we don't have to have people stand outside in the freezing cold, hawking brochures, we're willing to set up anything.
I have a question. Where can we pick up some brochures?
We can get them to you at the town hall, just come on by.
All right, I'll try to stop by tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you want the brochure format as opposed to?
Yeah, Friday night, there's about 40 pickleball players getting together at Starboard to watch some football, so I'll bring them there.
Perfect, okay. All right, next meeting date? Another meeting beginning of February, first Monday or Tuesday? would be February 2nd or 3rd is the Tuesday. Any preference? Oh, 3rd?
Is that a Tuesday, third?
February 3rd is a
it's
Tuesday.
Yeah, I think we should stick to Tuesday.
Tuesdays, everybody okay with February 3rd?
Hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna warn you, I promise I'll get the letter out about the businesses. If you all promise, we're gonna have a heavy report on outreach when we get together next time. I see more than 160 of these bricks sold. I'm gonna have nightmares about these bricks.
Yeah.
But I think that's really a good number. A third of them sold over the holidays. So
Holidays, I
that's-
think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's very positive.
It is
We only just started promoting it, so.
That's true. I like having optimism instead of worriers.
So do we have to have this meeting at 5 o'clock? Can it be earlier?
Question.
Well, I don't know, Kate has other duties.
At your disposal.
It can be earlier.
Can be earlier.
Yes, it can be. If people can make the meeting, yeah, sure.
What time do you want it?
I was thinking 4.
4 o'clock meeting
It's fine, sure.
on the 3rd? Any objections to that? Okay, we will schedule 4 o'clock on February 3rd. And that's a Tuesday. Okay, no other comments or business. I'll accept a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I move to adjourn.
Ellen, second? Okay. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.